My name's Tyler Davis. I work here at SVN, Saunders, Dantzler. I'm a CPA, and one thing I'm here to talk to you about today is opportunity zones. On December 22nd, 2017, Congress passed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. With it, they passed the largest tax overhaul in about 30 years in the United States. And I know what you're thinking, taxes, blah, 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 it's pretty boring, but the Opportunity Zones program is probably one of the most exciting and biggest potential benefits to a real estate investor that's ever been passed in the history of this country. And so really with Opportunity Zones, there's three main benefits. The first is that you have to use a capital gain to fund your investment in a property. And so on this first capital gain, you sell a stock or you sell a business asset. On the capital gain that you realize, you can defer tax for 5 or 7 years, really up to 7 years, if you get your money into a fund by 12/31/19. The second biggest benefit is you can reduce your tax by up to 15% on that capital gain. So not only do you defer tax for up to 7 years, you can defer your tax by up to 15% on your capital gain that you use to buy your property or invest in a fund. The third benefit to the Opportunity Zone program, and really the one that really drives the needle on this whole program, is that your investment, as long as you hold it for 10 years, is tax-free. So there's a big difference between tax deferred and tax-free. So if you defer tax like you would in a 1031 exchange or on your initial contribution to an Opportunity Zone fund, the capital gain, that's deferred. In a 1031 exchange, the tax is eventually going to have to be paid. You're just kicking the can down the road. On the Opportunity Zone program, your appreciation in your investment is tax-free, meaning you're never going to pay tax on it. As long as you meet the qualifications, you buy the right kind of property, you substantially improve that property, and you hold it for 10 years. So substantial improvement is really the part that makes this program work. So the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act cut tax rates across the board. We saw it on the corporate side with a reduction from 35 to 21%. Individuals also receive some benefits. And so if you're going to cut rates, you have to broaden the tax base. You have to make more income subject to tax. And one way to do that is to eliminate deductions, to make more revenue be subject to tax. And another way to do that is to broaden the base by spurring our economic growth, by making more jobs, by creating infrastructure that supports growth and supports the additional revenue that comes from that. And so that's kind of where the Opportunity Zones program comes into play. We look at, from an Opportunity Zone perspective, the real motive behind it is to spur economic growth in certain areas in each state, in Florida, in each county, that haven't really seen a lot of growth. From a land context, Congress and Treasury have been very adamant that land banking is not going to count. Just going out and buying land in one of these Opportunity Zones and holding that land for 10 years is not going to qualify your investment as a qualified Opportunity Zone investment. So with that comes the question of what improvements could you make to raw land to make it qualify as an Opportunity Zone investment. If you buy a building, it's easier to measure doubling your tax basis. If you buy a piece of land and you construct a building on it, that's easy to quantify. However, issues arise when you buy raw land and want to plant crops on it, or you want to build infrastructure on that land. You want to build roads, you want to put fences up, you want to redo the soil, bring in different soil, you want to plant annuals or perennials. Those types of issues often arise in the agricultural context. In the fall of 2019, we're expected to receive more guidance from Treasury, specifically addressing the questions that I just mentioned of what substantial improvements would qualify agricultural land as an Opportunity Zone investment. And so when we look around the state of Florida as well as other big agricultural states, there's a lot of opportunity that could be there for investors, for property owners who are looking to expand their operations. If you could go out and buy raw land, spend the money that you're going to have to spend to improve that raw land so that you can farm it and that you can grow crops and that you can make money on that land. The added benefits are huge if you can get that investment to qualify as an Opportunity Zone investment. At SVN, Saunders, Dantzler Real Estate, one thing on the forefront of our mind is what can we be doing in the Opportunity Zone space. As additional guidance comes out, as more and more people realize the huge benefits that are available in this program, we want to be at the forefront of this initiative within the agricultural space, both in Florida and in the state of Georgia. And so from our standpoint, we have listings across the state of Florida that are within qualified Opportunity Zones. We want to be more active than just knowing what listings are within zones. We want to be involved in fund management. We want to be involved with you ensuring that you spend the right amount of money on your piece of land to qualify your investment or your farm as a qualified opportunity zone. We want to be involved with you looking for properties within zones. The opportunities are endless here. Like I mentioned, this program is in place until 2047. And just like on the 1031 exchange, it took 30 or 40 years for the rules to get final and to be the set of rules that we have today. So opportunity zones are still in their infant stages in terms of investment and clarification and things of that nature. So we're excited about where this program's headed. We think it's going to be huge for the state of Florida and huge in the agricultural industry here. For more information on opportunity zones and to get in touch with us related to all of your opportunity zone questions, visit thelandjournal.net.